I'm Bella, the Makerama boss lady behind Bella's Custom Crochets, and this is episode 24 of my podcast. Welcome. This is a mostly crochet, a little bit of knitting podcast. I'm a crochet designer, and this is just where I talk about what I've been up to. You can find everything you need to know about me down below. I link all the blog, the Instagram, all that good stuff. And also there'll be show notes down there that I'll link you over to my blog as well for anything that I talk about as far as yarns, designers, etc. If you are new, thanks for coming. I appreciate you joining in here, and if you are returning, thanks always for coming back. That was a pretty good intro. I'm getting there. Today is the 15th or so of December. It's the week before Christmas. When you're seeing this, I think we'll actually be 1 week out from Christmas, so that's exciting. Basically 2 weeks left in 2020. Also exciting. Yeah. I don't have a ton of admin-y stuff today, so yeah, the only thing, I just wanted to tell you is the week before Christmas. That's not really admin, that's just a calendar fact. If you are interested, I have been doing Vlogmas videos. I haven't been doing them daily. I know a lot of people have, but I decided that just wasn't something that was going to work for me or my family. So I've been doing weekend Vlogmases. It's like the full week, but I've been posting them on Sunday. So if you are interested in watching mostly toddler crafts and me ranting about stuff, you can jump on over to that. There's a little bit of making content, but yeah, a lot of Christmas crafting and glitter. I'm trying to think of what else has been in there. Snow. Nifty Christmas music. So yeah, there's 2 of those up so far. I'm putting another one on Sunday, and I think I'll put up another one, at least one more after that. Probably going for 4. But yeah, those have been fun to do, and I've been editing them myself, which, if they've been terrible, I apologize, and I know that there's been some things that people are like, that was a little weird. That's because I've been doing the editing. If you're not familiar, my husband Jojo usually does the editing for this channel, and is just overall better at computer-y things than I am. Definitely more naturally inclined, I guess. It takes me forever to do anything on a computer. So it just comes very... He's like, it took me forever to learn too, but I'm like, it's taking me way longer. So I spent about, probably, in addition to all the time it took to like film all the videos, probably at least 2 hours editing each one of them for like a 20-minute little vlog. So I don't know if it's been worth it, but it's been fun and I've learned a lot. So yeah, I've been doing those all on my own, so I think I'm going to try and do a little more with the podcast. He's going to be my safety net, I guess. Because some stuff is just a little more complicated. We use a free editing program. It's called Lightworks. It's not any big secret thing. And I'm sure there's better programs out there, but that's the one we're using, and I've learned quite a bit. Okay, if my nose is all right, I just had a bit of a sneezing fit, but I'm good now. So I apologize. It seems like every time I sit down to podcast, I don't know, I think it's my husband's. This is mostly his office in here. It was my office, but then he moved his stuff in here to work from home. And we're renovating the other office. It's a whole thing. But I feel like his computer just generates a lot of dust. We have an air purifier. I don't think it's doing anything. Anyway, every time I come in here, I start sneezing. So, that's that. Design-wise, I wanted to tell you this. I think last time I had podcasted, this was not out yet. I was going to say this was the pullover. This is not a pullover. This is a cowl. This is the Herrington Marliday cowl. This is the solid version. The marled version has since gone off to live with Emily of A Rambling Yarn because it was a little too woolly for me. And if you didn't open your Christmas present yet, it's in there. But you knew that. So if you would like more on this cowl design, you hear the cat? I need to change my intro to this is a crochet podcast in which cats stand outside the door and... Jackie? He must sing the song of his people right now. Okay, buddy? Where's your father? Go find him. You're just gonna come in here and knock stuff down. He may stop. He might not. I'll keep going. So Herrington Marliday. It's a herringbone crochet stitch, and I have both versions of Jacopo. Bug, you can't come in here right now. The pattern comes with both the solid worsted weight version and then the marled fingering or sport weight version, which is the multicolor rainbowy one. If you are interested in this cowl pattern, besides being able to find it in my Etsy and Ravelry shops, if you jump over to my pattern drop tutorial, or my pattern drop playlist on YouTube, sorry, I posted last week that not only the pattern drop, which is basically I do like an intro video every time I release a pattern drop for this, and it tells you all of the yarns and techniques and what's included in the pattern and da 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 da. They're quick, informative. So check that out if you want more on this pattern. And also I have a stitch tutorial for this that's public on the channel for anybody, whether or not you want to make the pattern. It's a little walk you through how to do the stitch. So that is now available. And the Anouk pullover is actually with my tech editor now. And I should have it back any day now, and I just need to finish. We're supposed to get a big snowstorm this week, and assuming we don't lose power, and that I get good, because usually when there's snow, I get really good daytime light. It's been kind of overcast, but the snow makes it usually really nice and bright to take natural lighting photos. So I need to do some modeled photos of the pullover on myself, and I have to do the voiceover for the video. And then, yeah, the pattern's pretty much good to go. So that is exciting. I'm not sure, just based on Christmas and my tech editor schedule, it will be out either the last week of 2020 or the first week of January. So we're almost there, guys. Almost there. I know I've been hyping it for a long time, but I'm really, 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 really excited. So there'll be a pattern drop for that coming soon as well. And then design-wise, we're still in the design section. Hope and a future wrap. Yeah, I told you it was a finished object last time. If you've been watching my Vlogmases, you will be aware that after I finished it last time, I was like, I need to block it. It's all done. And then I blocked it, and I realized that the gauge that I thought that I was aiming for, what I wrote the pattern based off as far as row count, was not accurate. And I do a ton of gauge swatching before I begin designing something. I had done like 3 or 4 swatches at that point, and I was pretty confident. And the stitch was working fine, but I think I must have just gotten better at it, and my gauge loosened up. And the shawl that was supposed to be somewhere between, I think it was like originally supposed to be like 72-ish inches, it came out to almost, I think it was 96 inches or something. And then once you put like tassels on either end, it would have been like 100. It was ridiculous. So long. I'm a short lady, but Meg, who I think well, I know how tall I am. I'm about 5'3", just under. And I think Meg said that she was about 5'10", the dyer. And she agreed, even because I sent her pictures of it on me, and I was like, is it too big? It was supposed to be a wrap or a giant scarf, and it was like a giant, giant, giant scarf. Like, you could wrap it 3 times and it was still super long. So we decided it was a little much. And at that point, also there was some concern about yarn chicken. Because basically the project, I'm going to show it to you in a second. I know, I'm sorry, I'm rambling on about it. But the project uses 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn, full skeins. And then I used 7 minis, 20-gram minis. So the way I had written it, we were probably going to need to use 2 of each of the main colors. So 4 full skeins and then 7 minis, which is enough to make like a very large sweater. So that's a ridiculous amount of yarn for a shawl. So price-wise and just everything else, it was too much. So I frogged the entire thing. And I think it was like 180-something rows at that point in fingering weight, lacy motif, frogged it all, whole thing. So I showed it to you last time, and it looks basically the same now, except it's shorter. Because of the way I had done the stripes, I couldn't just like frog back on the end section and have like this one be shorter or something. They all have to be the same like dimensions throughout. So I had to frog all the way back to the beginning. But now I have got it to where I want it. It's the right width. It's the right length. I started making all of the tassels today. I am not 110% sold on the tassels. I have to put them on and decide. I really hope I like the tassels because I made all the tassels. It just looks like a crazy. This reminds me of a Pooley sheepdog. That's what this looks like to me. They're like the black moppy looking ones. So I have a large, I haven't done the, I'm going to do the contrast color. Also, this yarn had been frogged, so I need to like, I don't know, maybe steam these, dampen them slightly to get the crazy ramen look out of them. But yeah, so I have like 10 black tassels and then another handful of gray tassels, and then I'm going to do the contrast colors to do the little wraps. The tassels might not be for everybody. I know that not everyone loves a tassel as much as I do, but because the end is all chevron, I thought it would be just really fun to have tassels coming off of each little chevron bit. There we go. So it might be a little extra. You could definitely do fringe as well, or you could just leave it as is, but the pattern is written to make sure you now have enough yarn to accommodate tassels, which is where the yarn chicken was going to come in. It was uncertain whether or not we would have enough tassel yarn. So you could definitely leave it rectangular with just the chevron on the end. But yes, I am planning on doing testing for this in January. I want to get through Christmas because I know everybody has a ton on their plate already, and this has been a wild rumpus of a year and nobody needs any more stress. So probably testing in January and then release hopefully in February, and Meg is going to be doing kits and it's going to just be great. So I'm very excited about this one. If you want to see more about it or listen to me kind of explain the inspiration behind it, I believe I did the inspiration in episode 22 and I showed it a whole bunch more in episode 23. So if you want to hear more about the Hope and Future wrap, bump back a couple. That is all that I have on the design front. I say that's all. That's 3 designs. That's quite a bit. So I'm happy with how I'm ending off the year. I would really like to get the pullover out before the end of the year, but it's okay. Giving myself that grace and giving my tech editor plenty of grace as well, because we all need it. Finished object-wise, other than having refinished the Hope and Future wrap, by the way, I did it in a week. It's fingering weight. So people who are intimidated by fingering weight, I did the same thing with the pullover. I had to remake that whole thing. This is apparently a thing that I do where I make fingering weight designs incorrectly based on my own shortcomings and then have to remake them really fast based on my own timeline. Like, nobody said I had to remake it in a week, but I want to get it done. So the pattern is very repetitive. We are in the finished object section. We are not talking about that anymore. But I remade that, so that was an accomplishment. And then my other 2 finished objects are both knit. These are, hallelujah, amen, they are finished. These are the simple skip socks. Absolutely lovely pattern. I've just been working on them in between designing this, the sweater, and the wrap. So they haven't seen a lot of progress. I think I cast them on in September. Yeah, because I cast them on when I was in Maine with Emily. So not a ton of progress. Normally I can knit a pair of socks in 2-3 weeks if I work on them pretty consistently. 1 week if I'm feeling really wild. But this is, yeah, a simple skip sock. The pattern is by Adrienne. I do this every time. Adrienne Cowl. I'm not going to link her Instagram on the screen for you because she's apparently not very active on Instagram, but I'll make sure that the Ravelry link is down below. It is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it uses this kind of braidy looking, I messed it up a few times, so don't look too close, but this braidy looking, it's called a skip stitch, SKYP, because you slip one, knit one, yarn over, pass one over it's an abbreviation, skip, if you're wondering what that's about. And yeah, the yarn I'm just absolutely obsessed with. This is, I don't know if I still have the tag, I may have put it away. Oh no, look at you! Laine and Lotus, one of my favorite local Connecticut dyers, just favorite dyers in general, in her colorway Salted Caramel on her twist sock base. Absolutely obsessed with not only high twist yarn, 2-ply high twist yarn, but just this color is so good. So good. I love it so much. Kind of want an entire garment in this. It's like that perfect, it's like in between mustard and burnt orange, both of which I love, and it's got like some real foxy vibes to it. So really like those. I would definitely make another pair. It's not entirely mindless because you do have to keep track of, it's like a 2-row repeat. And there was a couple times, I'll try and find a spot where I messed up. There's a couple times where I definitely lost what repeat I was on. Of course I can't find it now, so it must not be that bad. Where are you at? Where are you at? Yeah, it must not be that jarring, because now I don't see them. Maybe once I block them. I haven't blocked them, wet blocked them yet. They're just kind of hanging out. And the sock blockers, I finished them like right before I put my daughter to bed, and now I'm recording. So they are not end sewn in yet, but I'm counting them as finished. And I'm very excited to wear them. They're supposed to be my fall socks, but 2020 is what it is. It's fine. And I need to get another pair of socks on the needles now because I don't currently have any. I don't know if you're hearing that noise, but my husband is fixing or installing a backup sump pump in our basement. So if you're hearing any weird plumbing whirring sounds coming from beneath me, that's why. We're supposed to get a snowstorm, and you probably don't need to know all of this, but our house has some water mitigation issues. We live on the bottom of a hill, abutting wetlands, so we get some water in the basement, if not dealt with. So we have a pump, but we've now gotten a backup pump because the pump runs on power. So if we lose power, the pump stops working, and then we have 400 feet of water in our basement. So if he's down there fixing that, you might be hearing some of that sound. Next finished object. It is, again, not entirely blocked, and it's mostly blocked. I blocked part of it. Ends aren't all sewn in yet, but most of them are. This is the Little Worsted Sock Arms by Telly Bean Knits, and this is for my daughter for Christmas. I had recorded a whole section about this for Vlogmas the first week or last week, I don't even remember, and I was thinking about it the other day and it totally didn't end up in there. This is just a ranty podcast, but my phone did some weird thing and we had to factory reset it, so I'm not sure if I lost the footage or if I just forgot to put the footage in, but there was supposed to be a whole bunch about this in Vlogmas, and then there was not. But basically, I think last time I hadn't put the sleeves on yet last time. So the sleeves are my first time that I've done inset sleeves, so sleeves where you pick up and work short rows rather than picking up stitches. No. What's the difference? Yeah, no, so you do pick up stitches all around, but then I had to do short rows. So that was different. I feel like I did well on the short rows. So this little purple sleeve cap is the short row section. I am pleased with that on both sides. It came out good. But the way that you picked up stitches and then worked the short rows and did wrap and turns somehow, and she has a note about it in the pattern, but mine was like extremely bad, and I talked about it in the, the Vlogmas, but then never posted the footage. So maybe if I can find the clip, I'll stick it in here. It might be gone forever. But you can kind of see here that like the stitches where I picked up were super loose. So there was like gaping, like had been attacked by a tiger looking like stretch marks in the pickup for the sleeve. So that was really bad. One side was way worse than the other, and then I ended up just having to basically seam the sleeve on, even though it was picked up off of the sweater. I just went inside and kind of re-seamed it a little bit. So I probably could have just knit the sleeve flat and then attached it, and that would have worked just as well. Because I ended up seaming it anyway. But I really do like this pattern. This is maybe not the first time that I've worked a bottom-up sweater, but I don't love bottom-up sweaters, and I know that, so I generally avoid them. So it's bottom-up, and then, you do the top, and then you do the inset sleeves, and they're just a wee bit, like, shaped because of the short rows. My wrap and turns are okay, not great at them. The collar, I might pull out. Last time it was pink. I already pulled it out and redid it in gray, and it does look way neater than it did last time. I think I'm going to just sew up those two little spots there. So the collar's nice and proper now, but it's a little bit tight on my daughter's head. So I might redo it again, because it's like one of those pick up It doesn't give you the exact amount of stitches to pick up in the pattern, and I'm not sure that I like the number that I picked up. What other grievances did I have? None of these are grievances with the pattern. It's just my issues executing the pattern. I think I really like, this is the only thing I've made by Telly Bean Knits, but looking at her Instagram feed, I really like her stuff. And she just did an interview with Christy Glass, and she just released, I forget what it was called, but it's a, she also just, I think, just launched a book about knitting with self-striping yarn, which is really cool and really fun. But she just released a top that has, it looks like you work a panel of the sweater this way, in self-striping, so it's all stripey, stripey, stripey across the top of the sweater, and then it looks like you pick up and work down, and that's really cute. I kind of want that for myself. But this, I don't know if she has an adult one. She must, because this is called the little worsted, or the little sock arms. I think there's a sock weight sock arms, but maybe there's an adult one. I don't know. But the grievances besides my weird execution is that I've definitely come to understand about myself that I do not like solid matte, not matte, but solid non-tonal yarns. Like this is just, it was called Squirrel Heather, but I really wouldn't say this is Heather. These are both knit picks. I don't know if I still have the labels. I think I stuck them up there in my label container somewhere. But this is Knit Picks Swish Worsted in the color Squirrel Heather, and then this is Knit Picks Felici Worsted. So it's the sock yarn, but in the worsted base, because they do the Felici sock, and this is Felici worsted, and this one is called Cloudy with a Chance of Rainbows. It's the first time I've used a worsted self-striping, and I think the sleeves came out pretty good. I had some concerns about the way the striping was going to distribute itself, and as you can see, it's very weird. I was also kind of annoyed that I didn't start with red. If I had caked it from the center, I probably could have, or if I had caked it up and then pulled from the center or something. The skein started on purple and ended on I don't know what color. The plumbing situation in the basement, it's getting intense underneath me. But yeah, the stripes are just kind of weird. Because obviously there's more stitches up here, and it's short rows, and then you decrease, and then, yeah. They're kind of weird, but I think overall they read as a rainbow, right? Kind of. The gray is this color. I added it in. But I really, really don't love the fact that this is just so solid colored. It just, I know Knit Picks is a mass-produced yarn, but just solid colors just scream mass-produced yarn to me. I definitely don't mind working with a box store yarn. Like this is Laine brand jeans, and I love that it has like the little color variation or flecks in it. That doesn't look hand-dyed, but it looks interesting. And if you like solid plain yarn, that's totally fine. But it's just I've decided that it's not my thing. So this is too solid, and then all of the colors except the red are totally solid, which really annoys me. Like, I think I would really like this color if they all had this pinky, like, the flecks. The blue has, like, a tiny, tiny bit. But these are pretty much solid. And then, yeah, that looks like I added in a totally different red, and it bothers me. Again, this is for a 2-year-old, and she's going to think it's fun, and it'll be fine. But these are my grievances with my yarn choices. And she had some notes in the pattern about picking, how to, like, gauge and pick self-striping yarn that would work well with the sleeves, but I was ordering online and I wasn't going to order multiple varieties of worsted self-striping yarn because I don't want to own multiple varieties of worsted self-striping yarn, and I definitely didn't want to buy a bunch and swatch with them and then be stuck with them, so I was like, this is the one I'm getting and we're just doing it. But yeah, it fits her. It blocked out. The sleeves are a little bit long, so I'm definitely going to probably cuff them up to the dark green, and then it'll fit her for a little while. So that'll be nifty. Right, so those ends are very good now, so that looks kind of ugly cuffed, but yes. Little worsted sock arms. Pictures to come if it fits her and looks cute. So I do want to try more of her patterns, but I just kind of disappointed in my abilities in making this one and my yarn choices. Comment below. How do we feel? Like, why is that speckly? Why? It's just annoying. I probably would have been more annoyed. At least it's in the middle. Like, I probably would have been more angry with it if it was up here. And I really would like to have gotten 2 rainbow repeats but that wasn't happening. Also, this rainbow goes red, brownish, orange, green, green, blue, purple. That's not yellow. That's lime green. Where's the yellow? Shopping for yarn online, guys. 2020 problems. But that is my finished object section. I don't have a big WIP section, but we'll do a separate WIP section. The WIP section today is going to be extremely minimal because I just finished those socks. I'm trying to get the tassels on the shawl. I keep calling it a shawl, but it's technically a wrap. It's a wrap. Or a really big scarf. But yeah, I just finished both of those. And Christmas is coming, so all my Christmas makes are done at this point. I don't really want to start another design because my brain is going to be in Christmas mode next week. And I have all the stuff to get the sweater ready, so I don't have another project lined up, and I feel very weird about that. I don't know what to make. I do know that I want to make, I think they're called the mini crafty boho stockings. Ashley of A Crafty Concept has a very popular bobbly stocking pattern. I've already made stockings for us. I talked about those last episode. Of a different pattern, but she has a little mini version that's basically a gift card holder or an ornament. And we have some gift cards for my sisters-in-laws. 2 sisters of my husband. I tried really hard to shop mostly handmade this year, but honestly what they want is Amazon gift cards, so they're getting Amazon gift cards. And I want to put them in something cute because Amazon gift cards aren't cute at all. So I'm probably going to make 2. I think those are the only gift cards we have. Is there somebody else we have a gift card for? I'm going to make some gift card holding stockings this week. Just scrappy acrylic stuff that I already have. I believe they're worsted weight, so I should have plenty of options. So I'm going to make that. And then the only other thing that I've been working on, and by working on, I mean I did last night while we were watching Parks and Rec, I'm making a tiny granny square blankets, single granny square blankets for tiny beds for a tiny dollhouse. This is still in plastic because we've yet to wrap it, but my daughter, I'm having a hard time differentiating what I've talked about on the podcast and what I've talked about in Vlogmas. December is complicated like that. But my daughter is getting dollhouse furniture for Christmas she has a bunch of these little owls. They all had clothes on. They are now nudie owls because she does not like things to be clothed, as toddlers do. These, we're getting more calico critter stuff, but these are actually another brand called Little Woodies or Little Woodsies, little something like that. But they're knockoff calico critters. I think they're a little bit bigger. And then the furniture that we've gotten is actually from Hearthsong. The calico critter stuff was all plastic, and I did not want all plastic. So we have a wood dollhouse that was actually more like a shelf from my grandmother, but it's a dollhouse. So little owls. The only trouble is they have these sticky outy tails, so they don't lay down very well. So they have to spoon. But yeah, so we have little owl beds. And they have little mattresses, but no blankets. So I'm making little owl blankets to go with all of the little owl beds. And I think she's getting a couple other furry creatures and furniture bits and bobs from other grandmother figures. So I've just been I'm going to make a couple granny square blankets. I got these 2 going. So the creatures won't be chilly, because who wants to lay on a bed with no blankets? And then I might make a little rag rug. And I don't know what else accessories. I could, if I want to get real fancy, I could hang some curtains in that dollhouse because it does have windows, but I don't think I want to be that fancy because she's probably going to pull them off. And I have the rest of her life to finesse this dollhouse. She's probably not going to want it her whole life. But yes. So I might do, I don't know, maybe I'll do some knit blankets, something. We have a couple little beds for the different size owls. So I've just been using scrappy stuff. I have literally no idea what this is. This is all one yarn. This one, other than the orange edge, is all one yarn. Just stuff I've had in stash. And yeah. So I just thought it would be cute to make the dollhouse a little cozier. Because I would love to do a completely handmade Dollhouse, but she's too rough for that at this point. I don't know. I used to really like making like dollhouse furniture and setting up like little like shoebox rooms and stuff for little tiny animals and dolls and stuff. But that's not a 2-year-old venture, so maybe later. But for right now, we're going with the wood furniture and calico critters. So those are the only WIPs that I have. I have a sweater pattern that I have been waiting to cast on. I don't know if you can see the yarn. It's buried, but these like purples and reds and yellows are supposed to be a, what is it called? Like poof? By, I think it's Hedgehog Fibers actually, the pattern. She has a like poof sweater, pullover, jumper, something. And then also a cardigan one, and I'm kind of in between on whether or not I want to do the sweater or the cardigan, but I got those either last year for Christmas or my birthday, and I just haven't had time. It's a knit pattern, and it's fingering weight, and I just have been doing designy stuff and whatnot. So a giant, oversized fingering weight, selfish knit just wasn't on the agenda, but maybe I'll cast that on over Christmas. I'm acting like I'm getting a Christmas break, but I make my own schedule, so sure, I'm getting a Christmas break. Why not? But yeah. That's the only other thing I'm really aspiring to. I do have like 2 other shawl designs sitting back there, but I want to get the wrap at least into testing before I try to do another shawl design. So that is my WIP section. None of that was really a WIP, but we needed a WIP section. Acquiring has not been a thing. Christmas is coming. But I did get today, I just wanted to show you, it's not really yarn related at all, but it is small business, Connecticut local related, which you know I love. I'm part of a artisan guild, an artisan group, an artisan collective of Connecticut makers, and they're all makers. I was going to say business people, but yeah, they're all small artisan businesses. Called the Nutmeg Collective, and there's about 80 or so of us, and we usually in July and in December do a Secret Santa type thing, where we all get paired up with one another and do a secret gift swap. And I got paired up with Sin Thomas of River Dog Prints, so I'll just show you her logos on the back of the card. So she sent me this little card. So she designed this. A lot of her stuff is focused, River Dog, a lot of stuff's focused around dogs. So if you're a dog fan, she's got lots of dog art, cards and the like. But she's a graphic designer, so she's got lots of other fun things. I think right now, I don't believe she's focusing on River Dog. If I am correct, she also has Sin Thomas Designs, where she just does graphic design like logos and the like, and I do have some fun stuff coming up with her Secret 2021 business. Stay tuned. But yeah, I'm working with Sin on some stuff, and she's been just super professional and amazing to work with, so if you're looking for anybody for anything graphic designy, but like logos, branding, website stuff, line sheets. The basement is making a high-pitched noise. Or that's my camera. I don't know. But yeah, she's really great. And a lot of the people in the Nutmeg Collective have used her for their logos and brand and stuff. So she came highly recommended. But anyway, I believe I can link her River Dog site for you. She also sent me this. This is my jam. It says it's a produce bag, which I love, an eco-friendly produce bag, but I'm totally using this as a project bag, because look, this is my jam. Yarn is my jam, y'all. So it is, she doesn't make the bags, so she prints on them, certified organic cotton, fair wage, fair labor. You know I'm all about that. So I really liked that, and I don't know if she sent it to me thinking it could be yarn related, but I thought that was really nice. And then she also sent me this recipe binder, which she presumably did all the designing for. And it's like a recycled cardboard type thing, and it's got little tabbies. And then these little And they're nice and big, which I like. So I have one. Ooh, hard to open though. I have a recipe binder type thing, and it's like half the size of this book, and it's all pretty tiny, so you don't have a lot of room to fill in space. I don't know if she sells these on her site. I haven't perused it lately. But yeah, I just thought this was really sweet, and I really like that goldy mustard yellow color that she got in there. She's kind of been inside my brain recently because we've been emailing a lot about the stuff that we're working on. So, yeah, she put a lot of thought into this, and I really like it. I do have to say, I'm not one to use recipes. I'm not a recipe user, and I've gotten rid of most of my cookbooks. And occasionally I'll jump on Pinterest and like look up like how long in an Instant Pot something takes, and then I kind of just wing it. Yeah, not a recipe follower. Come from the long line of non-recipe following people, but I want to use this because it's so cute. So might have to write some recipes down. Or at least pretend I use recipes. So that is the only thing I've acquired recently. I'm sure post-Christmas there'll be some more goodies to share, but that is what I have for now. And the only other thing I wanted to share with you guys, just Christmas related, because this is going to be the last podcast before Christmas, like I said at the beginning, is I know this year looks really different for a lot of people. I know for us it's going to be totally different. We both come from very large families and normally have very large family gatherings. And this year that's not the case. We're just doing tiny stuff with like our parents, whom we've seen all along anyway, so I'm not quarantining from them now. But yeah, definitely not our normal festivities and traditions. That's okay. But I don't know church-wise if anybody is looking for somewhere to be or to go. I know a lot of people are interested in like Christmas Eve services and whatnot. And I don't think a lot of places are doing them in person at this point. I don't know where you're at, but where I'm at, not a ton in person, especially not on Christmas Eve. But my church, Legacy Church, is doing online services if you are interested. So I will link them down below or in the show notes. But they are doing a Christmas Eve service, and I'm in Connecticut, so it's Eastern Standard Time at 4 p.m., 6 p.m., and 8 p.m. And it's all going to be pre-recorded, which I, as someone who's been involved in church stuff for many, many years, I really appreciate that they're not hauling people out to do 3 services, Christmas Eve and the weirdest year ever. So it's all going to be just be pre-recorded, and you can join us online there if you'd like. And I will try to link also anybody West Coast, and if you're not in the US, you're going to have to adjust these time zones to your own. I don't have any recommendations outside of the US, I'm sorry. But West Coast, our church in Washington, when we used to live out there, also does online services, and I believe they have 3 different campuses, so I think they're probably all going to be online. I was trying to find it on the website, and I didn't see any official online service stuff, but they've been doing online throughout, and it looked like they had Christmas Eve services in between like 2 p.m. and 8 or 9 p.m. going on at the 3 different campuses. So I will link that. That was Motion Church in Puyallup, Washington, if I didn't say that. But I'll link both of those for you in case you're just looking for somewhere, even if you're just playing it in the background, to just keep that tradition in mood. So we're excited about that, and just wanted to invite you. And both of those churches also stream online all the time if you're looking for a church, if yours is not accessible to you right now. And they both have really, I'd say, good quality. Not good quality church, but good quality as far as online, good streaming type stuff. Washington in particular has been online forever, so they had like a really good online setup going. But I think Legacy's doing an awesome job too, but you don't really care about all of this rambling. Just wanted to invite you guys in case you needed somewhere to be. So feel free to come and join me and my family and the rest of our families online for Christmas Eve. And I hope wherever you are at Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's, all of that, that you are with loved ones, even if it's just the loved ones that live in your house, or if it's over Zoom, or however you're doing it this year, that you're surrounded by love and coziness. And yeah, we almost made it to the end of 2020, so that is exciting. And here's to hoping that 2021 looks a little better, feels a little better, that we've grown as people, something. I know definitely have made some internal progress, I think, this year. But I'm going to wrap up here because I'm just rambling on at this point. Thank you guys for watching, and definitely jump over to those Vlogmas episodes if you want to get a little more behind the scenes about day-to-day stuff here and our Christmas festivities. Hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, and that if I don't talk to you before then, your new year is also fantastic. Thanks for being my people, and I will talk to you soon, guys. Bye.